What's up? Alright, this movie here made me want to get in touch with my inner gangster, no. It's called Tent and Wolf. Yes, Tent and Wolf. That's the name of a street. Well, two streets. Hence the and. Alright, it stars a lot of big name people. It was actually a pretty good movie. It reminded me of The Departed, like most of it, but it wasn't exactly like The Departed. It reminded me of it. It was in the same vein. It was actually inspired by a true story about this guy named Donnie Brasco. Well, I actually learned a little bit about this. The guy's name, this is a true story. His alias was Donnie Brasco. He was really Joey Pistone. He was like this. He was an FBI agent who went undercover with the mafia in the Bonanno family, I think was their name, and he was actually in there for 6 years, and he got like over 200 mafia guys arrested and stuff. It was craziness, like back in the 70s, late 70s, early 80s. And he actually survived it, got one of the capos killed of the family. He was a bad dude, and he pretty good at what he did. And but his story inspired a lot of stuff. Actually, a movie that I just found out is called Donnie Brasco, made in '97. Johnny Depp starred as Donnie Brasco. Now I gotta see it because Johnny Depp's like the best actor ever. He's my favorite actor. Love to watch him act. He's awesome in everything he does. Yes, Edward Scissorhands. Awesome. And so, well, back to this Tent and Wolf. All right, it's got some big name dude. Giovanni Ribisi, one of my third maybe Bruce Willis. Well, third favorite actor. Giovanni Ribisi. He's awesome, and he's awesome in this. He plays the main character, Tommy. He plays his cousin, Joey. His cousin Joey, and got other big name people. I think Brad Renfro. He was Tommy's little brother. I don't even remember his name. That's how bad he was. I don't think Brad Renfro. I haven't seen him in a movie since like Huck and Finn. And that was like when I was 4 or 5. It was like in 90 something early. But he did this, and well, there you go. I even had Tommy Lee in it. Tommy Lee was supposed to be like a bouncer or something. He was a fag. He wasn't good at all, but you knew it was him. Whatever. Val Kilmer actually made a cameo appearance as some drunk pop who lost a kid in Desert Storm, and that was it. He was there. He heckled the waitress or the bartender. She had just started. Okay, whatever. I chopped that up. Let me start from the beginning. Starts out with Tommy. He's in Desert Storm, and he's stealing a Humvee. And, it's a pretty cool thing to do. I actually done that myself. We took it back. It was in Iraq. It wasn't nothing crazy, but nobody found out. But anyways, he had this. He stole his Humvee because you found out later that the captain. It was the captain's Humvee, the commander's Humvee, and he was in the Marines. Tommy was in the Marines. He was in Kuwait, actually, just outside of Kuwait City. I've been there, done that, and he stole this Humvee because he beat up an MP because he was snitching or something. I don't know, but he beat up this MP, military policeman, and stole this Humvee to get away, and it was awesome. And then they arrested him and took him back to the States. And they put him in the brig, and he gets approached by these two FBI officers, and they're like, "Hey, we can help you out." You know, the normal fare when somebody gets arrested. You know, if I got arrested, I'd be, "Oh, you get life, sir. No option. You're stuck." But no, every movie, these dudes always get an option. Hey, will you go, help us catch this dude and put him in jail? We'll get you. We'll let you go. Oh, I can't do that. Psh, ask me to come clean about somebody. Oh, that guy right there, that's him. Lock him up, free. Let me go. But they offer this dude the deal to help him catch Joey Giovanni Ribisi. That's his cousin. They had this deal to catch him. He's like, at first they didn't mention Joey. They were trying to get. He was like, nah, whatever. Get away from me. But when they showed him a picture of Joey, he was like, oh man, okay, because he figured it was for the better to save Joey instead of let him live his life in crime and probably get shot by Lucky Luciano or somebody, and or Al Capone maybe. But he tells them he'll help, and so they let him go. And then he starts flashing back to old times, like 7 years ago. I think he was in the Marines for it was 7 years ago. He was only in the Marines like 2.5 years, but they flash back a couple years ago where him and Joey and his little brother, what is his little brother's name? Vincent. I didn't remember that. Vincent was his little brother, Brad Renfro. And so they flash back to them back in their teenage years, and they get in a bar fight. I don't know how they were in a bar at like 17 or something, but they were there. I guess fake IDs were good back in their 80s, or not necessary. But they go back, and there's like they get in this fight, and then after the fight, they're all pissy drunk, and they run outside in the rain, and they're rolling around in the dirt. And then they're in the middle of a field, like out in the middle of nowhere. They just ran out there like nobody could know where they were at. And a car drives across the grass and parks right next to them. Don't ask me how they knew. I guess it's the mafia. They know this kind of stuff. But they tell Tommy that his pops has been killed. And they're like, oh man. Well, nothing left to do now. So he joined the Marines, but there's still more to that part. So they found out his daddy's killed, or no, it was actually Joey's pops. My bad, Joey's pops, Giovanni's pop. And so they have the funeral, and then while they're at the funeral, the high crime lord, dude, mafia, whatever, Godfather, he slips Joey a piece of paper. And he says, it has a name and an address. It's like, this is the guy that did it. Oh man, Joey's ready to go now. They give him a newspaper with a gun wrapped up in it. They're like, here you go. And of course, Vincent and Tommy have to go with him, which I don't understand why, because right when they get there and the car pulls up, Joey's like, hey, go away. You could have told him that before you even drove over there. You could have just left him at the house, but no, they waited till he got there. And so he cusses out the guy, I forgot his name, and shoots him, the guy that killed his pops, and shoots him once and then turns around and walks off. Give him 12 or 13 of them bad boys in him, but and so the guy pulls a gun out. Of course, he's a mobster. He has a gun, and he pulls it out and shoots, and he misses. Joey turns around and caps him some more. And then Tommy's like, oh, I'm hit. And then he just falls over, and then they're like, oh, crap, man, Tommy got hit. So they patch him up, and, well, apparently he didn't die because this was 7 years earlier, and he's in Desert Storm stealing Humvees. So they go to Back to the Future, and they have a little more story with, like, I don't know, the FBI trying to get Joey set up, and this new Piper Paravo comes into the story, and she's like Joey's old girl, but she needs a job now. She's got a kid, and her husband got whacked by this one-legged dude. And then after he kills him and takes his money,